Hello, my friends. My name is Rachel Adamsley. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever, whenever you are tuning in from. I'm so happy you're here. Today, we are talking all things social media, and I'm honestly so excited to talk about this topic because it has changed my life. So, today we're going to be digging into my 9 step social media model. It does not matter if you are selling socks or you're selling houses, this model works and it converts. Today, we're going to talk about how you can dominate your local market through social media. And if you're watching this and you do any other industry, it's also going to work for you there. All right, you ready? Let's dig in. Hello, my friends. Rachel Adamsley here. I am so dang excited to be going over today how you can build a business through social media. And it does not matter if you're selling stocks or you're selling houses, this model works, this model converts, and it's going to crush it for you. Today, we're going to be talking about how to truly build a business through social media. Now, when I'm thinking social media and I'm thinking real estate, I think of two different groups of people: my local community, buyers and sellers, local business owners, and getting referrals from all around the country. The deal is, if you do social media well, if you're authentic, if you can show who you are, it's going to translate on screen, which then translates to off screen, which is where you can really build that relationship and build the business. And I want you to think of it this way. Like, everyone is so obsessed with like how many followers I have, or like, getting that follower count up. But I would rather have less followers that are more engaged and convert better, and I have more actual relationships, than a high number of followers simply for like the looking cool, right? So I want you to know that, like, people are like, oh, I want to be an influencer. You are an influencer because you're influencing one person with what you're posting, one person with that reel. If you make people feel something through social, that's where the magic really can happen. So we're going to be digging into my 9 step social media model. And I want you to know that no question is a silly question. So whether you're watching this live or you're watching this on replay, I will tell you that you can reach out to me anytime through social, ask a question. I am the only person who has access to my social media, and I'm so happy to help. All right, so who the heck am I? Why are we hanging out today? So my name is Rachel Adamsley, and I've been in real estate for about 13 years now. I started my business super old school, door knocking 200 doors a week, doing 3 open houses a week. And I actually didn't sell any houses for the first 4 months. So you can imagine, in those 4 months, I questioned a lot of my life choices. I drank a lot of wine. I cried a lot. But I will tell you this, like, my why I was doing this was bigger than any excuse that I could come up with. So it kept me pushing, it kept me growing, it kept me wanting to be a better realtor, learn my scripts, right? Know those objection handlers. And I kept going. So even though I didn't sell any houses for those first 4 months, I ended up selling 39 houses that first year and becoming Rookie of the Year, 109 the second year, 123 the third. And that's when I hit Wall Street Journal's top 1,000 agents in the country. We still have that designation today. Super grateful. I've had super big teams, super small teams. I prefer to have a smaller team and be profitable versus big and broke, simply for the sake of like looking big. Been there, done that. No, thank you. Um, so, I'm in real estate 50% of the time, and I'm a coach 50% of the time. So I really do split it both ways. My intention is to continue building my real estate team and eventually do coaching more primarily, and just really get to do the deals that I'm passionate about doing, right? Life by design. I'm a big fan of that. So let's see what else. Social media, it's my jam, you guys. I started my business, like I said, with the door knocking and the open houses. And, to be totally transparent, when I first got into real estate, I was in a really unhealthy marriage. I was paycheck behind a paycheck. And I just remember seeing all these realtor paychecks, and I was like, oh my gosh, if I could just do this and believe in myself, it could change everything. So when I jumped into real estate, it really was like, I have to make this work. And the marriage that I was in, unfortunately, it was like, I'm at this real estate office unlicensed. That was my job at the time. And I'm telling all these realtors, like, you're going to get your offer accepted. You got this. And then I'm crying myself to sleep at night. So a very different life season. But I knew I needed a change. And I think that really is what kept me going in real estate, is knowing I wanted to change and knowing that I was the only person who could make that happen. So 3 years into the industry, I hit top 1,000 agents in the country. I had gotten a divorce. I did like 3 years of personal growth to be the best version of myself. It's been a journey. And I started coaching all around the country, like teaching realtors how to do this, how I built my business. And I will tell you the reason I transitioned to social is I always want to be a wife and a mom. That was always my dream. And you can see here that that dream has come true. If you guys know me on social, you know that super sexy silver fox, Ryan Lee, in the picture. Love of my life. We met on Tinder. Swipe right. It works. I can help you with your bio. And then I've got four boys. I have Henry, Harrison, Hayden, and baby Harvey. So life is beautiful. It's full. It's freaking bananas. But I feel very, very grateful. What else? I partnered with Place. So my team, we operate under Place, which is incredible to help top teams really with more leverage systems and scaling. Love traveling. Obsessed with pineapple and Nutella. All right, let's dig in. So why social? So NAR says, National Association of Realtors says that 89% of all realtors are on social media. 89%, which means if you're not on social media, you're going to get left behind. And if you think about it, like with social media and AI, like it is everything right now. And everyone is freaking out about AI and they're like, oh my gosh, is it going to replace realtors? No, it is not going to replace realtors. However, it is going to replace the realtor who doesn't use it. Because I will tell you, it's not going to be part of my 9-step model now. I have full other classes I teach on AI. In fact, I have a class that I teach, which if you want to shoot me a message, my last 3 listings came from AI. In fact, one of them was a 76-year-old seller. She was a pastor's wife who found me on ChatGPT. And I was like, wait, what? Like totally blew my mind. But it got me really intentional with how I build a business through social media and chat. I'm sorry, and AI. And the thing you want to think about is like AI and the algorithm. They're constantly scanning. So you've heard of SEO, which stands for search engine optimization. It's constantly scanning the internet to see what you're putting out there, right? Is it buyer seller specific? Is it local to your community? Like, why are they going to put somebody in front of you? And the realtor who puts the most content out there, that's the one who's going to win. That's the one who's going to get the most business. So today I'm going to walk you through how you can become the who's who, the go-to, the number one listing agent in your area. And social media is absolutely a leg of your business. If you don't have it implemented now, you need to be plugging in. All right, let's talk a little bit about how the algorithm works because people are like, "Oh yeah, I want to beat the algorithm." Wait, what exactly is the algorithm, right? So when I think about the algorithm, I think about this. Almost think of it as like tools, right? So the more tools you use on a platform, the more eyes you're going to get on your content. So you could think of it like, okay, I'm going to make a post. I'm going to comment on something. I'm going to go live. I'm going to post a reel. I'm going to do a carousel. I'm going to send a direct message. I'm going to do an audio message. I just named 7 different things. You want to think of each of those different things as a tool that you can use on social. And the more tools you use, the more eyes the algorithm is going to give you on your content because their goal is to keep you and your friends on social as long as humanly possible, right? So what I'm going to tell you is this. Let's talk a little bit about how posting actually works, like how your content can either get out there or fall flat. So you're going to make a post, okay? Whether it's a post, a reel, a carousel post, it's going to reach 10% of your followers and some non-followers. So let's talk about what happens if it doesn't do well. They're going to ignore it. The post is going to fail, right? They're going to scroll away. They're not going to engage. They're not going to keep reading your caption. They're not interested. So it's not going to go to any new followers. Wah, wah. That post didn't do well. But let's talk about what happens when you do this well. You're going to make a post. It's going to reach about 10% of your followers and some non-followers. And I don't know if you know this, but right now with the algorithm, you can only reach about 7 to 10% of your followers if you're not doing anything crazy. Like if a normal person on social, you're only reaching about 7 to 10% of your followers, which means if you're only seeing 7%, 7 to 10% of your followers, they're only seeing the same thing. And so the goal is to get in front of not only the people who already follow you, but also new non-followers so you can build that community, then do the conversion and get a new client, right? So you're going to make a post. This one's going to do well. Okay, so it's going to reach 10% of your followers and some non-followers. Then they start to engage. They comment, they like, they share. Oh, the algorithm's like, okay, she's doing something right. I'm going to now have it reach more followers and non-followers. They continue to engage. Then you can get recommended on the explore page or the home page. They keep engaging and you can go viral. Now, trust me, viral is not the be all end all. I've had some really weird experiences. People get real angry when when things go viral, real opinionated. The goal, honestly, is to have connection with your people. So when you have high reach, you're going to get likes and comments, saves and shares, profile visits. But the number one thing, friend, the number one thing that you want to be focused on is watch time. How long you can keep somebody on your page, on your channel, on your profile, binging, sifting through, looking at your posts, looking at your carousels, watching your reels, right? So you want to create highly engaging content, gives them a reason to come back to your page. The goal of social media, friends, is either to educate or entertain people. Educate or entertain. And if you're doing this well, you're doing a balance of both. Like, I want to encourage you, honestly, to go to my social media. Literally, go to my page right now. Go to at Rachel Adamsley on Instagram. And I want you to scroll through my reels. I want you to scroll through my reels and I want you to take a look and notice that every single reel that I have is going to have a hook. It's going to have something the first 2 seconds, the very moment that you're on the page to see, oh, is this something I care about? So having a really good hook is game changer, okay? And then you'll notice that when I do a picture, I try to make it an entertaining picture in color, right? Or if I'm doing a reel, I want to have it short and sweet. I want to have a video that grabs your attention, a hook that stops the scroll. Then I'm going to have a caption that keeps you reading. And again, remember, rewarded for our watch time, right? So my caption is going to be educational or entertaining. It's going to be either going to make you laugh or it's going to teach you something. That is always my goal. But at the end of the day, I want to connect with my people, right? I want to have an actual relationship and connect with my people. So your goal with social is to educate and entertain. And again, if you're doing this well, you're going to have a balance of both of them. But truly take some time, go on my channel and binge through it because I have lots of content out there. And you'll notice that what you learned today in this 9-step model, I practice exactly what I preach. All right, so what is the 9-step model? What exactly is the 9-step model? So I would tell you that if you are watching this right now, I'm going to encourage you to take a screenshot. Take a screenshot of this and post it on your social media. And you're going to say something to the effect of, gosh, I just got to learn from a top 1,000 agent in the country how she gets over 100 referrals every year through social media. 100 referrals every year through social media. If you want a copy of my notes, leave your email below. So you're saying that on your page because guess what you're doing when you post something like that? You're offering value to your followers. The person who offers the most value, who gives, that's the one who wins. I always want to be known as someone who's constantly giving, sharing, collaborating, connecting with my industry and my community. And then by the way, I happen to work in Northern California, right? Send your referrals. Also, guys, like you don't get the business you don't ask for. So I am like shameless in saying I work in Northern California. Send your referrals. You're going to notice every real estate post that I make, I talk about Northern California because I want you thinking Northern California, Rachel, Northern California, Rachel, right? So wherever you live, you want to make sure that you're really intentional with always talking about the area that you serve. Okay, so model number one, how do we start this whole thing out? So the first thing I want you thinking is, okay, if I was going to build a foundational business, right, a foundation of my business around social media, what are the 5 things I'm going to be talking about? So I really actually want you to take pen to paper, or if you want to do it on your phone, you're totally welcome. But I want you to take a moment and I want you to write down 5 different things that could be your pillars of content. These are going to be the things that you're going to talk about on social media. Now, for me, right, like I think, okay, well, obviously real estate, right, the industry that I'm in, or lending or whatever you do. But then 2 through 5 is going to be different for everyone. Maybe you like clean eating and working out. You'd write it down. Hunting and fishing. You'd write it down. Travel, DIY projects, shopping, right? Whatever your passions are, you're going to write them down. If you're married and you have kids, I hope you like them, right? Go ahead and write that down. When you think about these pillars of content, you want to think, okay, what are 5 things that I could talk about that I don't need to do any research because I care so much about them? Okay, so take a few minutes, write this down, and then come back. Now, if you looked at my page, my Instagram, my Facebook, my YouTube, right, you're going to notice that I talk about real estate and being an entrepreneur. I'm going to talk about being a wife and a mama because it's my favorite. I'm going to talk about postpartum health and fitness, personal growth, being the best version of myself, and also multiple streams of income. Those are the things that I am, the most passionate about. So literally, you'll notice when you go through my content, I'm posting this, this, this. I'm going through these pillars of content and I'm literally rotating through them. It is okay if your least responded to content is real estate. Because friends, that's what you do. It's not who you are. So people are going to post more and comment more on something with your kids than they are your job because it's what you do. You're supposed to do your job. Good job. Like you're doing what you're supposed to. but people are going to connect with you more on a human level. And I think a lot of people, they have it flipped. They're like, oh, I have to talk real estate. And like total honesty, when I was in my unhealthy marriage, I posted about real estate all the time. All the time. And I pretended that I had this perfect, healthy marriage. Why? Because I was worried what people would think if I was honest about my life. But what ended up happening is I ended up in the hospital with dehydration because I was doing everything for everyone else. I was working super early in the morning till super late at night. I was avoiding my personal situation at home. And I had no boundaries with my clients. And so what ended up happening is I ended up in the hospital with dehydration, and I had a really great opportunity to relook at how I was living my life. And I remember, I don't know how long you guys have been following me, but I actually made a post and I apologized. I literally made a post and I apologized to my followers. And I said, hey, you guys, I have to be honest with you because I haven't been. I got a divorce and I've been hiding it from you because I've just been processing it and dealing with it myself. But it has been kind of eating me alive. And I have realized that I deserve to live the best version of my life. And you guys also deserve for me to be honest with you. So I got a divorce. And for the next 90 days, I'm going to go on this journey of self-discovery and healing. I want to encourage you to go with me. And moving forward, I'm going to be living my life with two things. Number one, authenticity. And number two, intention. Those are the two things I'm going to be leading my life with. And honestly, changed the game for me. Everything got better, everything got stronger, and I don't regret it. All right, so model number two, when should you be posting? So if you Google best time to post in the algorithm, you will get someone who says like 6:12 in the morning till 7:14 a.m. I don't want you worrying about that. I want you to post first thing in the morning when you're ready for social. Why? Because you have the most amount of time for people to respond throughout the day. Most of us, we grab our phone in the morning and the first thing we do is we start scrolling. And we see the mom who just made her kids like handmade lunch, right? Or wrote the handwritten note on her kids' lunch. And we see someone who just like, got off the treadmill and you're like, oh, good for you, right? You're still in bed. And then you see someone else who just closed their 100th house and it's like March. So you wake up and you already feel like crap about yourself. Like, no, thank you, right? So I like to have some healthy boundaries. So what I do is I wake up in the morning and I will actually prep my post the night before. So I use an app called Google Keep, and that is where I prep my content. And I will actually go, okay, I'm ready to post in the morning. I'm going to make my post, like prep my post, make it in the morning, and then I allow myself time to scroll. So I just give myself like 15 minutes because otherwise you're like, oh, I'm just going to see what's happening on social this morning. And all of a sudden it's like 2 hours later, you're watching cat videos on YouTube and you don't know what happened to your life. We're not those people anymore. We have boundaries, you guys, boundaries. All right. So model number three, 80-20 principle. How much are you posting personal and how much are you posting business? So I will tell you that most people have this flip-flopped. Most people are posting just about all their business and a little bit of personal. But you have to remember that people want to work with people that they like, but they have to know who you are. They have to know what makes you tick, what matters to you, why they'd hang out with you on the weekend, right? So actually, 80% of what you post, friends, it's going to be personal. Only 20% is going to be business. And what you want to look back on is your pillars of content and think, okay, 20% is real estate. But it doesn't always have to just be like, oh, this is my new listing or my new open house. It can be right now what you're doing. You're furthering your education or you're doing a content shoot with your real estate team. That counts as a real estate post, right? It doesn't always have to be just real estate. And I'm telling you, this is on your personal page. So I started my business on Facebook. When I got that super dialed, I then launched my Instagram. When I got that launched, or dialed in, I then added in my YouTube channel. Okay. So it was Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And I definitely feel like, the every referral. So I get about 100 referrals every year. Sometimes it's like 130, but like we never fall below 100 referrals a year through social. And it's always on my personal page, guys. It's never on my business page. Now, do we need to have a business page? I'm so glad you asked. So let's talk business versus personal. So you do need to have two forms of social media on Facebook. So on Facebook, you're going to have a personal page and a business page. But your business page is really there for like validity and credibility and reviews. Okay. So like if you Google Rachel Adamsley Realtor, my business page is going to pop up, not my personal page. Why? Because that's where people can connect with me. That's where people can like leave a review, or if I'm going to have a listing and I'm going to boost it through Brivity or Command or whatever CRM you're using, it's going to go to my business page. And Google loves your money, honey. So it's going to boost your business page. But your personal page is where the magic happens. That's where the conversion and the connection happens. So on Facebook, you need to have two kinds of pages. But what about Instagram? Instagram, guys, you only need to have one page, and you need to make sure it's a creator profile. So if you don't have it as a creator profile yet, you're going to go to your settings, change it to business, and then switch to creator. Why creator? Because you get the most amount of trending audio and the best insights. And I want to make sure that you have the best opportunity out there for conversion. So you're going to see on the left, you can see my business Facebook pages, right? One is obviously business. It's branded. It's got my headshot. It's got my business hours. That's where I'm going to boost my listings. That's my business page. My personal page, it's got my kid's cute little butt. You can totally tell that's a personal page. And then Instagram, one platform, and you're going to have it be a creator profile. Now, one of the things that I do as a social media coach for realtors is I do an audit. I do a 1 hour audit where I sit down with you. You have your computer and your cell phone, no distractions. We do it through Zoom. And the first thing I do is I audit people's content. I see what is working and what isn't working with what you're currently doing and what you're posting. You do have to have a little bit of thick skin because I will be very honest with you, but my job is to help you grow, right? And you're not going to be like hiring me to do a subpar job. And then the next thing I do is you're going to see right here, the bio. My bio, it's my online business card. And when someone is looking, if they're going to work with you, do you know how long you have to stop the scroll to grab their attention? 2 seconds, you guys. Scroll 2 seconds. You only have 2 seconds to grab their attention. So you want to make sure whether they're looking at your bio, your online business card to see if they're going to hire you or send that referral. You want to make sure that's dialed. So on the audit call, I also will audit your bio. And I physically am going to type it out and send it to you. And then I create 50 pieces of content. The next 20 minutes, I'm interviewing you. And I'm asking you all about your business. And I'm asking you about your life and how you give back to the community and your family. Remember how I said when you're crafting a post, you're going to have that hook, the call to action, the caption, the trending audio, like all the things. When I am doing the 50s interviews with you guys, I'm actually crafting that content for you. So I give you 50 pieces of content around your 5 pillars. I'm giving you the hook. I tell you the suggested image you're going to use. I write your caption and your post for you. And it crushes it. So if you guys are interested in that, you want a little social media audit, reach out to me. I'll share at the end with you how you can get more info. But all of that to say, your social media platform is your business card. It's if they're going to hire you or not. And when they're scrolling on social, they have a lot of options. So you've got to make yourself stand out from the competition. Okay. Model number 5, how often should we be posting? So if you're doing this well, guys, you're going to be posting 3 to 5 times a week. Now, if you were my client and I was training you on social media, I would tell you this. I want you making 1 business post a week, 2 personal posts a week, and 1 reel. That's a sustainable way to build a business. 2 personal posts, 1 business post, and 1 reel. Now, should you be doing more posts? Should you be doing more reels? If you want to, absolutely. But at a minimum, if you're building a business through social, that's exactly what I would tell you to post. And thank God the algorithm changed, because it used to be like, okay, post like 7 times a week and post on weekends and make sure that you're doing, 24 stories in 24 hours. Not the case anymore. The idea now is to post less quantity and more quality, right? Less quantity, more quality, better value. Give your people, love on your people. All right, so model 6 through 9 is honestly about hacking the algorithm to get you in front of your ideal audience, So what I'm gonna ask you is this. Don't post and ghost. Don't make a post and then be like, Rachel told me to post 3 to 5 times a week. I make the post and then you never respond or connect with anyone. Because the goal of social media is to have this human connection, right? So what does it look like? When I am trying to have some healthy boundaries with social media, which trust me, I need to have boundaries, having 4 kids and a husband and running 2 companies, definitely need to have those boundaries. But when I am on social, the way that I do it is this. I'm going to make my post first thing in the morning, right? And I'm going to make sure that I'm intentional to put my content out first thing in the morning. So we have the most amount of time for people to respond throughout the day. Then I'm going to go back in 1 hour later and I'm going to wake up the algorithm. I'm going to like, comment, share. Remember, the more tools you use, the more you're rewarded on the platform. So I'm going to make my post. An hour later, I'm going to wake up the algorithm. I'm going to like, comment, and share. Then an hour before the end of the day, I'm going to go back in and do the same thing. So I'm on social media 3 times a day. In the morning when I post, in the an hour later to wake up the algorithm, an hour before the end of the day. Okay? That's how you're going to do it. And it will help people. It'll make your family like you better because you're not going to be tied to your phone. I think we feel like we have to be on our phone all the time and respond right away. That is not the case. So you do not have to do that. All right. How do you lead generate on social? So a lot of people, if I'm like, okay, I want you to lead gen on social, they're like, oh no, Rachel, I totally do that. I sit there and I go, you're not lead generating. You know what you are? You're a lazy liker. You're just sitting back. You think you're lead generating, but it's not actually doing anything. If you want to lead gen on social, which for me, we lead generate on social every week, multiple times on my team. And I will tell you that you should do it in a 2 hour block. Most realtors, most professionals, we can only focus for 2 hours. So, like, let's not overextend ourselves. 2 hours, okay? What you're going to do is this. When you're doing a lead generation block, you're going to go to a higher producing post that you have. Say that, like, you just had a birthday or an anniversary or got back from a vacation or something like that, where it's like you got a lot of people engaging with you. It's going to be a personal post, it's not going to be a business post. So, you're going to go to that post and you're going to click on the likes. Most people are like, how many comments did I get? And the likes are just this like vanity metric, but I'm going to tell you that the likes are gold. They're literally a golden opportunity for you because it's people literally sitting there going, hey, I see you. I see what you're doing. I want to work with you. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to go to a higher producing post. You're going to say that like I just had an anniversary with Ryan and we went to Tahoe. Okay. I'm going to go to that post and I'm going to click on the likes. I've already commented back to the people who commented because that's in my time block time. But my likes, that's my opportunity. So I'm going to go to the likes and I'm going to send a direct message. So what does that mean? They like my post. I'm going to send them a direct message. But before I do that, I want to look on their page and see something super personal happening in their world. Maybe their daughter just graduated from kindergarten or they just got back from a trip to Hawaii, right? So this is what it looks like. So say that Joe likes my post and Kristen comments on it. Okay. I'm going to comment back to Kristen because that's my time block time. Like, thanks, girl. We had the best time, you know. And then Joe likes my post. So I'm going to go onto Joe's page and I'm going to see what's happening in his world. And maybe his daughter just graduated from kindergarten. So this is what I do. Joe likes my post. I'm going to send him a private message. Hey, Joe, thanks so much for commenting on my anniversary post. We had the best time in Tahoe. Oh my gosh, I saw that your daughter just graduated from kindergarten. What a huge milestone for you and your family. Do you guys have any plans coming up for winter or for the holidays or for summer or whatever time of year you're sending this? You guys, this is a script. You want to take a screenshot of this and you want to memorize it. This needs to be part of your life. Mention where they thank them for commenting on whatever they did so they know where, you know, you engage with them from. And then you're going to mention something super personal happening in their world and then you're going to ask them a question. And what happens when you ask a question? They're going to respond, you guys, and we're going to have this back and forth dialogue. And what happens when I ask about them? They're going to ask about me. And I will never be like, oh, I'm good, thanks. Do you want to buy or sell a house? No, because that's freaking weird, right? You're not a weirdo that walks up to someone in the grocery store and is like, nice shoes. Do you want to buy a house? No, we build relationships with people. So I'm going to build a relationship with this person online. We're going to go back and forth until I feel like we really are connected. And when I feel like we've really bonded, then I will say something to the effect of, gosh, you know, Joe, I really feel like we've aligned so much in our personal lives, which makes me think we'd align in our business lives as well. I don't have a great referral partner in Connecticut. Do you have one in Northern California? Right? So I lead with the personal and then I transition into the business. And I will tell you, I get over 100 referrals every year, and a ton of them are agent referrals around the country. Other times they're business owners in my local community. But this is a really good way to lead generate on social, get that conversion, and crush it. All right, model number 8, top 25. So every single month on my team, we take 25 names of people that we are already friends with, 25 names of people that we're already friends with on social media, but they're not seeing our content. Okay, so I'm going to go into my social media, whether it's Instagram or Facebook, and I'm going to pull 25 names of people that I'm already friends with on social, but they're not seeing my content, which means if they're not seeing mine, I'm not seeing theirs. So I want to be intentional with this. And I like to do themes. So I might go, okay, this month I'm going to do 25 local business owners. Next month, I'm going to do 25 referral partners around the country, right? Realtors. This month or the next month, I'm going to do 25 local business owners, right? Local business owners, past clients, realtors around the country. Like, you can choose what it is. But I like to do themes. So I'll go through my phone and I'll pick those 25. Now, why am I focusing on people that I already follow? Because the people who know, like, and trust you are the ones who are most likely to refer you business. Yes, we can work on our new followers. And I don't want you to ignore the gold mine that's sitting in front of you of these people who already like you, who already trust you, who want to refer business to you, but you're just not in front of them. So you're going to pull 25 names. Now, what do you do with these 25 names? This is the secret sauce, guys. This is why people hire me. I also just realized I'm wearing the same blazer right now that I was wearing in that picture. That's funny. Okay, it's called Rachel's Rule of 555. So what does this look like? 5 minutes before I'm going to make a post, I'm going to comment on five people's post, a comment of 5 words or more. Okay, I'm going to say that again. So 5 minutes before I make a post, I'm going to comment on five people's post, a comment of 5 words or more. Now, who are these five people? Who are the five people? They're from my list of my top 25. Okay. So what does this actually look like? How does the model actually work? I want to break it down for you. Okay. So what I'm doing is I want to wake up the algorithm. I want to use the platform the right way. I want to add value to my people. So I'm going to wake up in the morning and I know I want to make my post that morning, whether it's a reel, a carousel post, or a static post. So I'm going to hit my 555. So 5 minutes before I post, I'm going to comment on five people's post, a comment of 5 words or more. Okay. Intentionally get in front of the people who I want to see my content so I can get a referral from them and build that relationship back up. So I'm top of mind. Then I hit my 555, I make my post. An hour later, I go back in, I like, I comment, I engage, I connect with everybody. An hour before the end of the day, I go back in, I do the exact same thing. You guys, I'm telling you, the agents that I coach that follow this model, they'll reach out to me sometimes. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm like, why? They're like, my social media is just like on fire. Like I have more comments, more likes, more shares, and I'm getting more referrals than I ever have through social media. And it's all because of your 9-step model. So I'm telling you, you want to have a bigger year, a better business, implement this, baby. All right, so let's talk a little bit about shareable content. This is some bonus I have for you guys because I really want to make sure that you get all the value out of this class, okay? So let's talk shareable content. The realtor who shares the most on social media, who is the local market expert, that's the one who's going to win. That's the one who's going to get referrals. So what does shareable content look like? The 5 best dog parks you need to know about, 4 top brunch spots in your city, top happy hour spots you need to hit, 5 best date night locations, 5 reasons why you need to move to your city, 4 wineries you have to stop by this summer, day in the life of a realtor, right? These are all like super shareable pieces of content that you are a realtor who just happens to buy and sell houses, right? But also, like I always say, and I say this like so many times a year. In fact, we have 24 different lead magnets that we put out every year for our community that makes me the local expert. And some of them are like this top 10 most walkable neighborhoods, right? The 5 best like spa days for, or spa locations for a girls' day, right? I want to be the person that everybody knows is the go-to locally. And then they're like, dang, she knows everything locally. She's probably really good at selling houses. In fact, I am. So I want to make sure I always take care of you guys, and I always love to over deliver. So I got something free for you. I want to make sure that you understand that the hooks are honestly the make or break of your content. If you're going to build a business, if you're going to get new followers, if you're going to stop the scroll, the quality of your hook is everything because you have 2 seconds to grab their attention. So I have 20 hooks to help you go viral, completely free for you. If you guys go to rachelsfreebies.com, you can download the 20 hooks to go viral, and I'm super duper happy to help you with that. All right, friends. Fast and furious, but I wanted to make sure that we really got through my 9-step social media model in a way that was like applicable. I could break it down. So many people get overwhelmed by social media, and I like to make it something that is really, really helpful and easy and something that can make a difference in your life. So what I want you guys to do is follow me on all the platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Follow me, find me, let's connect, let's grow together. I'm so excited to do this with you. And I did want to share with you, if you're like, yes, this chick is my vibe, I totally want to work with her. I feel like I want to do social media, but I need a little more guidance, a little more coaching. Then I want to share little opportunities I have for you. 50 pieces of content. This is the one that I talked about earlier. This is the 1 hour, a 1 hour where we literally team up and take your social media to the next level. It's a one-on-one call, and my goal is to boost your online presence and get you more referrals. At the end of the day, that's what it's about. So it's a 1 hour call. We're going to audit your content. I'm going to redo your bio for you. I'm going to create 50 actual pieces of content that hit and convert so we can get you more business. So you're welcome to scan that QR code or shoot me a message on social that says content, and I'll send you the link. Other thing, I don't know if you realize this, but video, friends, video is still the number one thing the algorithm favors above all else. And I realized that there was a hole in our industry that I could help fill. So I have over 400 realtors that I've done reels for every single week. So what I do is I take a trending reel on Instagram that's doing well and I convert it for real estate. I am actually going to send you an email on Monday and say, hey, Jessica, I need you to film yourself smiling and typing at your computer for 10 seconds. You're going to email that raw footage into my team. We're going to edit it. I'm actually going to put the hook on the video. We're going to edit the full video for you. And then I'm going to write your caption. I'm going to tell you what your hashtags are going to be, your geo hashtags. I'm going to give you the trending audio and the call to action. I'm going to give you every single thing you need to be successful in the video space. So it takes the guesswork completely out of it. It's the ultimate leverage for a realtor who's wanting to be successful in their local industry. And we're focusing on buyers, we're focusing on sellers, and we're focusing on building investors' portfolios. Those are the things that we do. It crushes it. Agents who work with me, they're literally seeing their conversion of going from 295 up to 400% more engagement. So if you want to do videos, this is the one you've got to add into your business. It's only 97 bucks a month and you get a reel every single week. Super good. You can comment weekly reels to me on social or scan this QR code. And then a bio makeover. So you guys know that we've got the bio on the top of the screen. What you also don't realize is that, especially now with how big AI is, it's scanning all the content. And so what you'll notice on a lot of my Instagram posts is I actually have a little paragraph at the bottom of my content that's called my bio caption. And it's a one paragraph that tells you exactly who I am with my 5 pillars of content. And it grabs my ideal audience, my ideal follower, and brings them to my page. So instead of you having to work so hard to get the follower, they're coming to you. Guys, I made this as cheap as humanly possible. It's 67 bucks. And I will write it for you. You're going to have a form you're going to fill out for all your information. And then I'm going to write your bio and send it back to you for you to put on the bottom of your screen. All right, friends, thank you so much for your time today. I hope you got so much valuable information, and really and truly, social media is a game changer. It can build your business, and especially if you have healthy boundaries around it, it can absolutely double the amount of closings that you have next year. So I hope that you are excited, hopefully not too overwhelmed. And my goal with social media is to build this in a way that you can be successful. It's actionable. It's not just like a woo-woo social media class. It's like, no, do this, follow these people. Here is your script. I am so excited to help you build your business, crush it on social, and I'll see you soon.